That's Twist and Shout by the Beatles. The Beatles version of Twist and Shout, a great song. This was by request to learn how to play the song. And at first I was thinking, the song's pretty straightforward. How much is there really to teach on it? The chords are pretty simple. There's a D, there's a G, and there's an A, and that's it. Well, the song is a lot more complex than even I thought, so I'm really glad we got this request. This will be a fun one to teach because we'll be talking about getting into the groove of the song, the timing, and dynamics. So, hope you enjoy the lesson. Let's get the basics out of the way. The chords we're going to be using are a D, a G, and an A. We'll also use an A7. That's going to be the guitarist's preference if you want to go into the A7, but A or A7. There's also something that we can consider using too, and it would be the D with an F sharp in the bass. Right? So we could play a regular D or D with an F sharp in the bass. When I hear the song, I think that's the way John Lennon's playing it, with an F sharp in the bass. You can play it either way you want. Those are the basic chords, and those are the ones we're going to need. Right, so it has 3 chords, 4/4 timing, so probably sounds like this. Well, shake it up, baby, now. Shake it up, baby. Twist and shout. Okay, sounds nothing like that, right? And the reason it sounds nothing like that is it's not a strummy song, number one. And number two is the chords are just played slightly differently than we're used to, right? A lot of times we'll see chords played on beat number 1 or beat number 3, 1 and 3, or we could see a chord played for a whole measure when it's 4/4 timing. That's a lot of times we see that. This one's a little different, and that's why this one's fun, right? So let's start with the main riff that's played almost throughout the song. Let's talk for a second about timing. A lot of times in 4/4 timings, we're just counting to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's important in this song that we count in eighth notes. And the way we do that is simply by adding the word and after each number. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And that's the rhythm of the song with those ands. So when we're playing it, and this is a great song to learn this because you're doing the same thing over and over again, right? So when we're playing, we start off with the D. We can see we're on 1 and 2 and then the G, 3 and. So what that means is we're playing that G a little bit quicker, right? So 1 and 2 and 3 and. Wow, so it gives that pulsating rhythm. Then what happens is we can see the next chord, the A, doesn't come in the next measure like we would normally expect it. It comes in quicker. It comes on the 4 and. That's what gives this song that pulse, that rhythm, right? It's quick. So the first chord is played like we normally would, 1 and 2 and, but then it starts speeding up, 3 and then that A coming in faster, 4 and. So that's what gives the song that pulse, and it's so critically important to be thinking about that. So this is how it could sound. So that's the first measure. After that, we're just kind of hanging on an A for a bit, or another measure. And in that one, you can go from an A to an A7 if you'd like. So if we put that all together, and it's just a cycle, we're going to be doing this over and over again. Let's listen to it, right? That's the song, that's the rhythm of it. So the way I would really encourage you to think about this and how to practice it is you can try counting it. Awesome. If you can keep up with the counting, that's great. What I'd really recommend, and I'll put a link in the description below, is you just play along to the song And if you can't play it that fast, what I do is, especially for a YouTube clip, just slow it down, right? Just use the speed, just slow it to 75% or something like that. It won't be in the same key, and John will sound really funny when he's singing, but it'll give you that rhythm to be playing along with. Okay, so here's another way you can play the main riff. Start off with an A, open A, A2, A4, D open, then the D chord, G, G, A. So in context, right? Just like that. You can do that over and over again, and that's the main riff. Right, so you play that main riff over and over again throughout the entire song, and then you get to the ending, and the ending's made of two parts. The first part is, let's call it the build-up, right? And that's where the Beatles are singing in harmony. Their voices are going up. So what can we do on our guitar? We're hanging on an A chord. And one of the things we can use dynamics, right? Let's start a little softer with the A. And then the next measure, we can play it a little louder. A little more urgency, then a little louder, and then louder still. And on that last measure, sometimes I switch from an A to an A7. And that's a kind of cool way to play it. Just play with dynamics. You start soft and then just get louder as you go along. Then let's do something fun at the end, right? So after the A, a lot of times you'll just see in tab, like it just says, go back to a D to resolve the song. But the song kind of has this cool bum, 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 bum ending. So let's try to emulate that the best we can. So we play an A, then open A, A1, A2, A3, A4, and you guessed it, A5, right? All right, will be the ending. And then instead of going to a D, we're going to play a D9. And a D9 is just a fun one. It's kind of a jazzy chord. Right? That'll end it. The key with the D9, make sure you're not hitting the low E, and that you're using your pointer finger to mute the G string to get that cool sound, and that's the best way, I think, to end the song. All right, I hope this was helpful. I hope you found some new things, new little ways to play it. I really encourage you to practice. While it seems like an easy song, just a couple different chords, just getting that rhythm is going to be critically important, and find that groove. All right, enjoy.